I'm with Hanana Naftali here in the Garden Tomb in Jerusalem. Now, Hanania, you're a social media influencer. What sort of things do you put on the internet?
Well, as an Israeli Jew, I create content and videos telling the story of Israel because I think that people hear about Israel from the mainstream media and they hear that it's a conflictual place, war zone, do not come near Israel. But actually, Israel is a very peaceful place, and I think that there are radicals everywhere. And indeed, radicals in Israel also, they try to disturb the peace of Jerusalem and the peace of Israel. And my mission through social media is to tell the truth about Israel.
Are there a lot of lies that go out there, and are you trying to counteract those lies?
Indeed, unfortunately, one of the biggest lies is that Palestinians are oppressed, that there is apartheid, that there is ethnic cleansing. But actually, on the ground, Palestinians and Israelis live side by side. There is coexistence. If you walk in any random street in Jerusalem, you'll see Arabs, Muslims, and Christians and Jews walk together, work together in the Israeli hospitals. And there are a lot of lies. I think that in this era of social media, it's very easy to misinform and to produce fake news, and I'm here to counter them.
How many followers do you have?
Over 2 million across social media.
Wow. Are you surprised that this took off?
Actually, yes, because growing up, I was very shy. I was this quiet kid that, ran from attention like from fire. I never imagined that I would be, speaking on the radio or on stages about Israel. But I think that when I saw how my country is treated by the mainstream media and international communities and forums, I could not stand idly by because I realized that if I don't do something about it, no one else will do. So I had to stand up. And I'm very glad that this community kind of took off and grew. And I don't see them as followers. We're one big family.
When you're putting things up about Israel, do you receive threats because of telling the truth?
Yes, there was this message that I got the other day that somebody wrote to me, "We will kill you," and a signature of the Sepah, the Iran's armed security guard, something like that. Also messages that people threatened to slit my throat. And this ongoing hatred is not going to stop me. And I'm very happy when I get death threats because it means that I'm reaching exactly the people that I want to reach.
Does that make you scared, though?
No, I believe in God, and I know that God is by my side and protecting me. And if He gave me this mission and passion, then clearly there is something for me to fulfill.
You're also working with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Tell us what you're doing there.
I'm part of the digital team, and that basically means helping, filming, strategy, managing social media accounts. But really, the interesting part is seeing the Prime Minister work behind the scenes when cameras are off. And I see a leader that really loves his country and is willing to make personal sacrifices for the sake of Israel. And that's really admirable in my opinion, especially the fact that me, a young Israeli, I started to work for him when I was 22. He really believes in the next generation and wants to hear what they have to say.
Are you surprised at the way things took off, that now you're even just working with the Prime Minister?
Yes, because it was my dream to make an interview with the Prime Minister. And we call it in Hebrew, the Israeli chutzpah. I contacted the Prime Minister's office, his advisors, and asked to do an interview with him. Long story short, I did this interview with him. That was my big dream. And then a few weeks later, I got a call that the team has asked to recruit me. And when you're 22, after the military service, you don't say no to an offer from the Prime Minister of Israel. So I was very surprised. And I see it as a big privilege and a blessing to serve the state of Israel like that.
And I saw recently you've just been married and he was at your wedding as well.
Yes, it was very such a memorable moment, that the fact that Sarah Netanyahu and Benjamin Netanyahu attended the wedding and blessed us. It meant a lot to us, and the fact that they honored us at our wedding, yeah.
How good is the relationship between Christians and Jews?
I think that it has its ups and downs, but I think that more and more people realize that Christians are the number one supporters of Israel. Obviously, there are extremes on all sides. People who think that Christians are not allies, or people who thinks that Jews are bad people. But I think that the Judeo-Christian alliance is keeping Israel strong. And it is because of Christians that Israel is what it is today, supporting Israel internationally. There are millions upon millions of Christians that stand with Israel, and it really means a lot to us at the end of the day. And I think that we need to strengthen this because the enemies of Israel and the enemies of Christianity, they're working very hard around the clock to destroy our alliance. So we have to guard it and make sure that we grow stronger together.
I think the Prime Minister recognises that as well, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He's a champion of understanding the true friends of Israel. And I see him, you can see yourself that he's speaking a lot to evangelical leaders, Christian, Catholic leaders, doesn't matter who and what denomination. The main point is that we stand united together, and we find common ground in which we can stand on together and work to grow from there.
So a lot of the information that you put up onto your Facebook page and things like that, these are good pieces that Christians can use to advocate for Israel, isn't it?
I believe so, because I think that there are a lot of Christians that want to do something for Israel but are not sure what they can do. And I think that that's a great opportunity for them to join the conversation, to learn more about what's happening on the ground here, and to be able to serve Israel in the best possible way, because nowadays social media is this town square where everyone is gathered together to argue, to hang one another, to advocate for the truth and also advocate for lies. And I think that Christians are great ambassadors of the truth. And when I put out content out there about Israel, telling the truth of Israel, it really provides help for them as well to know how to answer and how to counter lies as well.
Just recently, in the last week or so, we've had rockets from Lebanon, rockets from Syria, rockets from Gaza, and we've had people killed in Tel Aviv and also in Israel as well. How do you live every day with these threats that are towards the life of Israelis?
As an Israeli, I'm not scared. These radical extremists, they want me to be scared. They want the entire nation of Israel to be scared and to not come out, to stay home and to leave this country. Because at the end of the day, this is their greatest dream, to free the land, what Free Palestine means, from the river to the Mediterranean Sea. That's exactly where the Jewish state exists today. They want to throw us out of here. And therefore, we don't let terrorism disturb our day-to-day lives. We keep our smiles on, we are happy, and we know that at the end of the day, we are here to stay. Nothing will drive us out of here because we have nowhere else to go. I have nowhere else to go. Israel is my one and only country. Is one Jewish state too much in face of dozens of Muslim countries, Christian countries? One Jewish state, the state of Israel, is one too much? This is absurd. The fact that even our one tiny state, they're saying that we're occupying it, our ancestral homeland. But at the end of the day, terrorism will not win.
Do you feel like God has called Benjamin Netanyahu to deal with Iran?
I very much think so, and I think that the Prime Minister also has made it his kind of life goal in a way, because when he came to power just recently, he said that he came to stop Iran and to make more peace. Those two goals. And we are seeing how it's being developed. Iran is rising. Iran is trying to base itself militarily in Syria in order to attack Israel, because Iran and Israel don't share borders. And I think that the Prime Minister very much understands that, we, the Jewish people, we've been through the Holocaust. When someone threatens with our annihilation, we believe them and we act against it.
What is your prayer for Israel today? And what's your prayer for the Christian community as well?
My heart screams unity, to pray for unity, because I think that this current times that we live in, there's attempts to destroy the unity that we have as a nation, and Christians as well. I think that it's a big problem that we are dealing with, and I think that we all should pray for unity in this country and in our world, because as enemies are growing, we need to be united more than ever. And my prayer is, first of all, to thank Christians for praying for Israel and to ask them to pray more than ever, because we need them more than ever.
Is now a critical time, do you think?
Yes, I do. We see attacks on Israel from the Gaza Strip, from Lebanon, from Syria, from Judea and Samaria. It feels like all the enemies of Israel are seeing what's happening in the country in terms of protests and in terms of arguments that we have, inner arguments, and they are trying to take advantage of the fact that we have arguments. And let us not forget that the Second Temple was destroyed because of lack of unity, because of hatred. And I think that it is critical time, and the Bible says that we are going to face critical times and challenges, and therefore we need to be united and strong, because if not, we don't want to see the enemy rising even more stronger and winning.
What's your message as well for our Palestinian brothers and sisters?
As an Israeli Jew, I love Palestinian people. I don't see them as my enemy, and I think that they very much so understand that their own leadership is their enemy, because Palestinian people, at the end of the day, when I see them, I grew up in Samaria. I went shopping in Palestinian towns, Jenin, and I see that they just want to live their lives. At the end of the day, obviously there are extremists, but I disagree with discriminating against them. I disagree with hating them. And when I call to pray for Israel, I call to pray for them as well.
How can people find you on social media?
Just Google Hanania Naftali on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You'll find the truth.
Okay, Hanania, thank you very much.
Thank you.